And now, live from Pod Cabin in Burbank, California, it's the Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend show. Tonight, Allison welcomes a guest. He's a comedy writer who's worked on The Daily Show and Conan O'Brien. It's Rob Kutner. And he's a writer, and just like your president once stole an election, it's Jordan Morris. Tone Zone is here to fuck up a boardroom with his rock and roll music. I'm her husband, Daniel, saying hop on board the Love Bus and say hello to your new best friend, Allison Rosen.
Allison Rosen. Allison Rosen is your new best friend. Allison with her the good times never end. Allison Rosen, doing the wavy pencil dance again. Allison Rosen, Allison's your new best friend.
Hello, my little macadamia nut shortbreads. Welcome to another exciting episode of Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend. That particular carbohydrate was sent in on Patreon.
Patreon.
By Jess Flowers. And yes, I am on Patreon. And yes, there's all sorts of fun stuff. You can get episodes of The Friend Zone. That is my bonus Patreon podcast. There's a level where you can text me and I will text you back. You can submit carbohydrates. You can submit questions. And lately, I have been writing about grief because my dad died a month ago. So, I mean, it is just a good time all around. Patreon.com/. No, I was looking today, actually. And before I posted anything on Instagram, I had posted something with lots of pictures of like my dad and me when I was young and just various feelings I was having about that. So I know there's 6 people out there who are like, fuck no. But there's at least one who's like, that sounds intriguing to me. So to that person, and I hope I have the ratio wrong, I say, go for an annual subscription and you get 2 months free, patreon.com/Allison Rosen. And I would also like to let everyone know my merch store, my new merch store is now live. And yes, for years I didn't have merch, but I do now. So now's the time. We're talking t-shirts, hats, mugs, pint glasses, notebooks, stickers, tank tops. Maybe I'm overloading the market. I don't know. AllisonRosen.com. And then at the top, there's a banner that says my merch store is live or something like that. Click on that, go there, buy stuff, send me pictures, and I'll be happy and repost it. I would like to say hello to my guest, Jordan Morris. Hello.
Hi, great to be here.
Wonderful to see you. Your name came up over the weekend, and we will get into that in a moment.
Oh, I can't wait to hear about myself.
I know. I was excited vicariously for you. Rob Kutner, first-time guest.
Excited to be here.
Hello. Jordan vouched for you.
Uh-oh.
So it's a lot of pressure on both of you.
I said Rob would be good if someone else drops out.
Yeah.
Bluff call.
What was Robin up to today?
Well, yes. So I always forget if it's Tony first or Daniel first. It's you first. Hi, Daniel.
Hi.
I just took over from the host.
No, it's okay. I don't like tradition anyway. You can mix it up.
That's right.
I think you have to forget about Tony until like a little too far into the show.
That's what I do.
Maybe that's how you
Oh.
remember it. Yeah.
I love when people keep the memory of me alive, even during my lifetime. Thank you. Yes, I had forgotten. How's it going, Daniel?
It's going well. Yeah, big day today for us.
I know.
Yeah.
Our son had his first day at first grade.
Ooh.
He's a big kid. Yeah, but there was like a little bit of... He actually took it better than I think I would have at his age. He had to use the same backpack he had in kindergarten.
Yeah.
Because he wants a Minecraft backpack. And yeah, the specific one he wanted won't arrive till October. So then we had to get, like, we've finally sourced a different one. The shipping for the different one is $17.99.
Ridiculous.
Which I think I don't know where it's arriving from. Another country. I don't
I
know.
had no idea these backpacks were so tough to get.
Wow.
The specific
I think we
Minecraft.
waited.
Which
Okay.
knockoff company did you use? It depends.
Yeah.
It's called like Furlac or something. Does that sound Danish?
It's a Star Trek alien of some sort.
Yes. He wants the creeper inside one.
Okay.
Ooh.
So
Sounds
it looks
dangerous.
like, yes, I know. It's like a piece of a jigsaw puzzle is missing and there's a creeper inside. So it's like, it's
I
an
want
excellent
that.
use of negative space. But there was
He
one.
loves illusions. He has a shirt that looks like it's got all these, it's like a checkerboard that's been morphed so it looks like there's a hole in his body.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's an Escher head.
Yes.
Does he have
Do
any?
not tell him about Escher.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
It'll be the two hands drawing themselves.
Do kids still know about Magic Eye? Do you guys do Magic Eye?
Oh, I don't know if he knows about those. I know about those.
Those take work, though.
Yeah.
This is the one you want the unforced optical.
I mean, I couldn't see our neighbor's Magic Eye
Oh,
forever,
I'm
and
sorry.
no, but the day I saw it was fucking huge for me. It was the Plotkins, and it was dinosaurs.
How did you
The Plotkins were the
finally-
family. The dinosaurs were what the Magic Eye was
Yeah.
of.
How did you finally teach yourself how?
I mean, I think the tip that I got that worked in the end, and I get for people who aren't specifically in our age pocket.
This
went
is
away.
like how Daniel and I were talking about gleeking on the Monday show, and I was like, do we
Gleeking,
need to
yeah,
explain
sure,
it? So yes,
absolutely.
you're about to explain what a magic eye is,
yeah,
right?
these are kind of like, gosh, how would you even describe them? There's these colored patterns.
It looks like
Yeah.
noise. It just looks like visual noise.
Almost looks like a multicolored QR code.
right.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Ooh, what a
brought it
good
into the modern
explanation, Tony Thaxton. Welcome to the show.
Jensen's
I-
like, yeah, there it is.
Too soon.
I would have introduced. I usually do it around the 40-minute mark. I would have introduced you sooner, but Jordan reminded me
Yeah,
of
thanks,
my
Jordan.
my thing.
Appreciate that.
I just like a running joke. I like that the listeners rely on these little bits of
They need
consistent
that.
comedy.
Yes, in a crazy world, a world that not unlike a Magic Eye poster
Right.
before you're able to see it.
Yes.
So yeah,
Brought it right
just
back.
I'm a pro. It also looks kind of like when you look at something that's 3D without the 3D glasses.
Yeah.
It's just like, but I guess that's actually kind of what it is.
So, and these were like all over malls in like
Yes.
1992,
Specifically Las Vegas malls.
1993.
I had
Yeah.
a job where I would spend time on Hollywood Boulevard, and they were everywhere on Hollywood
Right.
Boulevard.
You were
Doesn't it make it
Elmo,
sound like
right?
yeah?
Exactly. Well, I would, between Elmo and Ernie from, same show.
I was going to go with like the guy who's entirely aluminum, or write your name on a grain of
What I
rice.
love about those guys is they're filthy.
What was your Hollywood Boulevard job?
Oh, I would. So this was summer, which is the best time to be doing this job. I would get those movie screenings, where they would do marketing screenings.
Right.
With, there's a marketing company, and they're right on Hollywood Boulevard, and you'd go.
You had the clipboard?
Yes, and I would go to movie theaters in the Valley in the summer, and I would try to get people to go.
So wait, your first
those.
stop of the job was
Well, so you
located
pick up
on
the
Hollywood
tickets
Boulevard,
at,
and then
the marketing company on Hollywood Boulevard.
and then you
first
go to
thing
the
in the morning.
Valley.
Yeah.
It's a heat frying pan.
Oh, it
Gross.
sucked.
Do you remember some of the movies that you were giving out the tickets to?
Yes, there was one, and I remember this because, it was a Robin Williams movie where he is reincarnated at different. What is it like?
Dead
Being
again?
Human.
Oh,
Being Human is that the name of it?
Well, there's What
so-
Dreams May Come.
Not that one.
Where he
No.
goes
I think it's
into
called Being Human, and of course, this is long before the movie is even marketed, so you don't know anything about it.
When he
And-
asked what the name was, it seems he already knew what the name was. Did you notice that?
It's just fun to play a little Robin Williams.
Well, I'm
Trivial
not confident.
Pursuit.
That's why I'm.
It is.
It's
I looked it up.
interesting trajectory
It is,
of
okay.
his career, yeah.
So I just remember that one because there was a gal who I really gave the hard sell to, and I'm like, but it's Robin Williams. I mean, how can you go wrong? And then she was like, okay, because you're paid by how many people show up.
Oh, wow,
to
okay.
the screening, not necessarily those who get in. And so you're trying to motivate them. It's like a night out, and it's a free movie. And she found me. A couple weeks later to give me hell because it was such a shitty movie.
Wow.
Yeah, she was
Like
pissed.
at your house? Where did she find you?
No, because I'd go to the same places, and I think she was not happy. But,
It's a weird point in Robin Williams' career.
yeah, kind of a Patch Adams sort of stretch.
Tell them about your celebrity encounter.
Yeah, sometimes I would go to Universal Studios, the City Walk, and so people in the industry are not allowed to go to these screenings, but of course, and that includes actors. But everybody who's out during the day going to the movies on a weekday is an actor. I mean, 90% of the people are actors or just writers or whatever. And so what I would say to them is unemployed, when you get to that place where you're filling it out, because it's like, I can't put actor, then you can't go. And so there was this one woman.
Just put movie fan.
Yeah, exactly.
Professional.
Cineast.
And I'm kind of going through it, and I'm like, this person looks familiar, but okay. And we get to the occupation, and she's like, and I ask her, and she says, actress. And I'm like, unemployed. And she's like, okay. She was not happy about that. And then I get to her name, Justine Bateman.
Wow.
And I'm so bad at recognizing people, but she cut all her hair off. So this was like right around the time when she was like, I don't know how she looks now, but she had just like very short hair. So I did not recognize her. And I was pissed because by that point I'd spent like, good 15, 20 minutes.
How dare she put you out like that?
Oh, I was completely in the wrong. I was like totally.
You don't know the pay structure of this job. Maybe they assume he's getting paid hourly.
Right.
Yeah. Like I had insulted her, obviously, she's a big star, and everything. I'm like unemployed. And so I was like, couldn't you I don't know why I was saying, like, couldn't you have told me? I was like so frustrated. Couldn't you have told me who you were at the beginning? Which is not cool.
I have one working on Hollywood Boulevard story.
Well, hold on. And then she was like, she was pissed right back at me, and she was like, why should I have to tell you who I am? And I was like,
wow.
I just want to see Patch Adams early.
yeah, I don't know. It was like, because I like her.
Where's their paperwork?
Yeah, I don't know. It was not great, but it's hot. I was like not in a good state of mind.
Is there any way she would remember you and knows that you're
I
married
hope
to me?
not.
Because I've invited her on my podcast.
Oh, you
and
mean
she
that's
passed.
why she's passing?
Yeah.
No way. There's no way.
Are you sure it's not your fault?
That was pre-plastic surgery for me. So,
Well,
you
now,
had the
now
different-
she knows.
well, now she knows. Yeah, but I look totally different.
Your tits look
Okay.
great, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. I had a lot of work done.
Yeah. Is
so
that
she
over
doesn't-
or under the muscle?
You mean the implants?
Yeah.
Yeah, just under. You put them under the
Okay.
muscle. Yeah, I have new cheeks, new forehead, the whole thing.
What was your
what's
forehead like before?
It was concave.
You give up all that storage space?
Yes.
You had a beer cozy right there?
That's right, exactly. I doubt it. I mean, she might remember the incident, but I can't imagine she'd remember.
God.
Anyway, Jordan, you said you had a Hollywood Boulevard story.
One of the jobs I've had in the past is segment producing, and that's kind of where you're not the host and you're not the like camera person, but you're there kind of like either getting the host to do a certain thing or you're getting the like interviewee to do a certain thing. And I had this job for the Food Network where the idea was that a chef would make these like fun food mashups. So, like peanut butter and hot dogs, like that. And you would go and they wanted like real people to try the food and like react to the food. So they're like, you should go out on Hollywood Boulevard and get all the like costumed characters to try them. And like, the people on Hollywood Boulevard in that experience, they have no idea who they are dressed as or what that person
really?
does. I went out there and I'm like, I'll try and get them to do something. I'm like, what would Superman say about these peanut butter and hot dogs? And he's just like, they're good. Like, I don't know. Are they, up and away to flavor, able to leap hunger in a single bound? I'm like looking for that.
Right.
And they're good. And,
You might be surprised to know those people not the best actors.
Sure.
Were they just happy to have a gig that was indoors with AC?
This is outside.
Oh.
This is like outside in front of the
right
But hey,
there.
they got free mashups.
They got free mashups. Nothing wrong with that.
Who was the Food Network host who did this?
Gosh, good question. I don't even really know where these little segments went. It was kind of just them talking to camera thing.
Oh, okay.
So I think it was a like
Feels
interstitial
yeah.
in another show.
I didn't know that you worked for Food Network.
This was the lone gig I had. Didn't turn into any other Food Network jobs, but what could have been. But so I'm out there. So it's Hollywood Boulevard in front of the Chinese Theater, and there's the TMZ bus that like does the tours, the the TMZ tour. I've not been on one, but I imagine it's like kind of a juicy celebrity
Oh,
tour.
yeah. That's where you get all the good secret stuff they can't publish.
Right.
They don't dare.
So
the bus.
the bus kind of stops near where I'm standing, and it's like me out there with like a camera, and the bus like honks, and I turn around, and the host or whoever is like
The tour
tour
guide?
guiding is like waving for me to get on the bus. And I like look at him and he says on the loudspeaker, "Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Osborne." That was Ozzy Osbourne's son.
Yes,
And
Osborne.
to this day,
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
why the fuck didn't I just get on that bus and pretend to be Jack? I'm
Wait,
like,
did you tell him you weren't?
no, I'm like, no, it's not me. And, and then
Yeah.
everybody went, oh, and like people were bummed.
Maybe they thought you were like a Hollywood Boulevard Jack Osborne cosplayer. Like that.
Right. And like that
More of a
guy who
Michelin.
knows nothing about Superman,
Right.
I knew nothing about Jack Osborne.
Right.
Anyway, but yeah, I mean, I should have just said, fuck it to the job, rode
Right.
around, told Ozzy stories that didn't happen. Anyway,
Has anyone else ever thought you were Jack Osborne?
I got it all the time in
Really?
college. Yeah.
Did you look more Jack? Did he look more Jordan Morrissey?
I think there was a time in our lives when we converged.
Okay.
Weights change, hair lengths change. I
Right.
think there was a time, and that time was like, 2004 to 2007, where we eclipsed each other.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. So, a friend of mine, like at this point, I don't know how many months ago it was, she told me in a text, I'm driving back from the Osbournes' house. And I was like, you have to tell me what you were doing there. And I still don't know. And this is a good friend of mine.
Right.
It like keeps getting pushed to the back burner. I feel like her last
I would
words,
want answers.
I know. Like all of a sudden when we're both like on our deathbeds, I'm going to be like, wait, what were you doing there?
In 2023, what is anyone doing at the
I
Osbournes'
know.
house?
The magic eye story.
Yes.
I feel like we need to get to the climax of like how you finally unfocused your eyes.
It's not, So Magic Eye, they're posters. If you look at them in a certain way, you see this like kind of goofy 3D.
you have to
image.
unfocus your eyes, right?
You look at your reflection in the glass. That's
oh,
how
is
I did it.
Yeah. That is a little
It's
trick
magic
that I've
eye
never
hack.
heard.
And I saw the. What's up, everybody? Make sure to smash
God.
that subscribe button. I'm teaching you how to see Magic Eye
In
posters.
2023.
Yeah, that would be great. You
2023.
could do TikToks all about Magic Eye, and that'll catch on.
First thing
Yeah.
you need is a time machine.
I mean, I feel like they went out of style because it was a lot of work for very little payoff.
Sure.
What's like once you get it, then like it's like boom, 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 right? It's
Yeah.
like just the getting there.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, okay, it's an airplane.
I'll never forget
It's like-
we had one around our house, and my mom finally figured out. She goes, "Oh, I just figured out. It's like having your first orgasm." It's like I'm done with Magic Eye.
Oh my
Good.
God.
It's like, wow.
Wait, sorry to dig in, but I'm just trying to figure out like what that means. Like it's a lot of work to unlock it, or
I don't know if it's like so process oriented, but just like the sort of unexpected experience, and I didn't really want to dwell on that much. But
yes.
Was your mom a really like sex positive lady? Would she like?
I mean, she came of age in the '60s, and she was average, so
Okay.
average
Yeah.
for that time, I'll say. But so that was not as much positivity as I was able to handle at that point. I think.
Sure.
Right.
Be more negative. Be more sex negative, Mom.
So
Exactly.
Your dad looks at it. Oh, I just jizzed. Oh man.
maybe I've been
It's a
doing
sailboat. I just jizzed, dude.
I feel like I've been doing the magic eye posters wrong because I'm not having these kind of transcendent experiences.
It'll make you blast, dude.
So I saw, I don't know what it was that I saw, but some like dead eye girl trend. And now the hip gals, the way they're posing is by having this real like dead eyed stare.
Right.
So I was like, I'm going to try it because I'm a hip gal.
Sure.
I'm a hip Gen Z gal all over
course.
TikTok. So I'm like, I feel
You're
like
always wearing giant XL Nirvana t-shirts.
exactly. And my
Is that hip now?
Cool.
As
Yeah.
I think so. I think
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, like a black XL Hanes beefy tee with the Nirvana logo. I think that makes
specifically Nirvana.
That's
Yeah,
very
that's
specific.
no Nirvana. I've noticed because I saw my niece recently, and she was wearing a Nirvana shirt, which surprised me. And
Wait.
then it's made me notice how many teenage girls
Have they heard
specifically
Nirvana?
are wearing Nirvana.
Yeah, are they
shirts.
into Nirvana?
I can't speak for all of them, but my niece actually is.
Okay,
yes.
good.
Now is it because they're trying to look grunge? Is it, or is it just like what's going on?
You know, I think I don't know why, but
Well,
I think it
you're
was.
plugged into Gen Z, so let me know.
That's true. I can remember growing up in the 90s. Like, if you found a like thrift store Led Zeppelin shirt or a
Right.
thrift store, ELO shirt or something. That was a fun thing to wear. And I think it's that.
It's
I think
retro
it's
in
like
that
this is
way.
a kind of a
Yeah, but these are like you can literally just buy them at Target.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the weird difference.
Right. I think the like Gen Z alphas probably go to the flea market and get them. But yeah, I think you can just get them at Target now.
So anyway, this dead eye girl
Yes.
stare trend thing, I was like, I can do that, I think.
Okay.
Because I'm tired all the time.
Is this just like a face to do for a selfie?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
It's like,
No expression, or is it just staring off into the treasure in the distance?
It's like
kind of-
19th
Yes.
century portraits too, where like everyone's just staring gloomily into the.
Right.
yeah.
because they just have to keep their eyes open for 20 seconds. Yeah, death looms. Exactly.
I actually put a little skeleton skull in the way back,
Yeah.
And the artist was on the other side.
Right.
I'm not going to be one of those tryhards who poses.
No.
I'm just going to do the dead-eyed stare. So I took
And
a
to
few
be fair, you don't try hard.
right, and I'm not going to. So I took a few selfies where I tried to just unfocus your eyes. Is how you're supposed to do it.
Oh.
I was like, as someone who can do magic eye, never had an orgasm from it, so I didn't realize there was like another level.
Right.
But anyway, and then I looked at the pictures and I'm like, oh, I'm about to be a Gen Z alpha 30 years too late. And it just looked like I was kind of like looking off in the distance. It's weird. So if you take a picture of yourself, eyes unfocused, it doesn't, for me, it didn't translate.
Okay.
Maybe I'm just there's too much vitality in me.
Sure.
Probably.
But what does it look like when you see these trendy girls do it?
Okay. You know the girl, Sophie, who played Natalie in Yellow Jackets?
Yes.
Can't you imagine her doing a like,
She's great.
Yeah, she's...
wait, I'm hearing, I think your phone might be creating.
Yeah, can you have your phone off the table?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Like, okay, guys, here, I'm going to do it.
Okay.
Maybe
There.
further away from the table.
Like this, Daniel.
Still there.
Yeah, whose phone is it?
Mine's over there.
Mine is on the floor. Maybe it's not a phone.
It could be a wire cross.
It
Yeah,
stopped.
maybe it was this.
Oh.
All right.
Oh, Tony. It's
Yeah.
Tony's fault.
I'll own up to it.
Is it that they...
I don't know.
They're not looking at you. It's kind of like you're talking to someone at a party and they're sort of talking to you, but they're looking to see if someone else is more interesting.
Yeah,
to talk
because
to.
everyone loves that experience.
Yeah.
What I was getting from you
Well, it's a
was
cool person look.
Yes.
sailor who misses land.
Yes. That is how I would be on a boat and
Right.
crossed with nausea. Have you guys ever been on a cruise?
No,
I have no interest. My sister, okay, I'm still hearing it weird. Because my sister was like, someday I think we should get the kids and we should all go on a cruise. And I said,
I have lots of interest.
you do?
I just think it would be one of those experiences that would be fun to have and talk about.
Do you guys think the kids would like to go on the Creed cruise?
Man. I mean, a themed cruise
Creed's
of
back.
any kind.
Creed's
Creed-
back via cruise.
Don't they have to, like,
that is real.
That's their
Is it
reunion.
just
They are.
Creed?
It
not
is
merged with
Creed.
several other groups.
I think a Dishwalla is
Ooh.
there.
Like you can't just do one, right?
No,
No.
yeah, it's a package tour, but the Creed reunion is like the big deal.
I've been telling Allison we should do an Allison Rosen and his new best friend cruise.
Ooh.
Yeah, because doesn't it just take up like a little section of a bigger cruise?
Yeah, I think how these themed cruises work is that you get the Lido deck or
Right.
whatever,
Oh.
and then the rest of the boat is because I think there's maybe few fandoms that could fill up an entire show. Although I guess there's probably some. I guess if there was like a
Mine
mind,
could.
yeah.
I feel like Alice
we'll
Rosen
fill the
did-
boat.
Oh yeah.
Well, has Max Fun ever done anything like that? You do the
Max Fun
the camp.
did kind of sort. I didn't go on it, and I didn't have anything to do with it. But I think they did a cruise once. So yeah, but I have no other information other than it seemed like it was fun.
So, speaking of Jordan,
Yes.
that was not my best segue. I told you, but we didn't really delve into it.
No.
I met some people that you went to high school with
Yeah.
this weekend because their son and Elliot are classmates.
Love this.
And he's
They're
works
friends.
they're friends, yes.
Yeah.
And the guy works for the Jimmy Kimmel show.
Yes.
And so we were since we know a lot of the same people, we were doing the like, oh, do you know? And then he and his wife were like, do you know Jordan Morris? And I said, I do. He comes on my show a lot. I know him quite well.
And then they got real quiet.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, we'll talk to you later. No. And I'm
Please
like,
leave. Please leave right away.
And I'm like, but he's not at Kimmel. Because that was the heading that we were.
That's just what people say about you first. The first fact about you, not at Kimmel.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the guy who's never worked for Jimmy Kimmel.
Right.
Despite doing a few podcasts. Anyway, whatever.
And then they said they went to high school with you.
Yeah.
And then we had to bond over growing up in Orange County. That didn't take that long.
Yes.
But yes, and then I was like trying to remember
that one Cheesecake Factory?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember Jordan Morris high school facts.
Right.
I had forgotten the reunion thing till afterwards. I'm like, wait a minute, the reunion,
Yeah, that's a good one.
Homecoming Kings.
Did you play in a band? Did you play in a ska band? Because if not, who am I thinking
gosh, I know. If you look at me, you're like, that guy was in at least one ska band. And
Jack
they had ska in
Osborne.
the name. Danny.
Yeah, he said that he goes with you to see ska concerts.
We have seen
though.
ska. Yeah, we were both 90s Orange County ska kids. And, I mean, it's a little bit better than a band, but we were both on the high school improv team.
Oh, you were the captain, right?
Hell yeah.
Oh, I bet I was. I
That's what
don't.
he-
Yeah,
you don't
I
even.
bet I was.
Oh my god, talk about cool.
I mean,
I don't even know. I was the captain
coolest.
of a lot of things.
I forgot. That's what he said. He said that you
Yeah.
were the coach or the captain or the president. Or...
Your school had an improv team?
I know. I was stuck.
Yeah,
on that.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
What's up with that?
It was so it's like a franchised thing. So I think they still are around in LA. Comedy Sportz with a Z.
With a Z.
Oh.
With a Z.
Wait, you have to wear sweatpants, right? Everyone has to wear like sweat.
You wear like
I'm interested.
athletic gear. You wear like a baseball shirt or a referee shirt or something like that.
You're gonna be sweating,
Oh yeah, with all that yes anding, nothing takes it out of you like yes anding. So they are adults who do improv shows in LA, and they will send one of their improv people to high schools to like teach you improv games and like help you put on a little show.
Oh, this is so cool.
And it was kind of like interesting because like not only did we get to, learn improv, which was a mistake for me to do, but
Wait, why?
Oh no, I give improv a hard time. I'm glad I did it, but I think that I did it too long. I think that there's a little pocket where you do improv, and I think I feel a little bit bad about like hanging on to it for longer than I should have.
It's kind of a herald for you, really.
Yes, exactly. Yes,
The longest form.
The end is the beginning. Thank you, Del.
They said the thing they said before. Yay!
Not a joke. Whoa!
So there's some people you just don't want to give those tools to. Those
I'm trying to understand. Were
I
you
was
like,
at risk. I was at risk. Yes.
were you like the Fonz of comedy sports? Like, I'm talking, like, what does it mean you hung on to it for too
By
long?
which he worked in a bathroom.
the Matthew McConaughey of improv.
Yeah, I would. It was like, I mean, I think it's a cool thing for high school kids. Not cool, but it's a good thing. No one who's ever done improv has ever been cool. And and I think when you like are first starting your, comedy writing showbiz career, it's like helpful. But I think like at a certain point, like just don't do it, bro. I mean, I don't know. Like, do something else. Put your time and effort into something else. But I mean,
how many years of your life did you devote to it?
God, I think I was still like, I was working in show business and still like, I got to get off on time for improv class. Like, no, you have a real fucking job. Do this. Don't worry about making it to your dumb little improv show for 5 audience members. And I think I was still like, I got to keep one foot in the improv world.
But like, if you had done UCB or Groundlings, would you feel differently?
So I did do UCB when I came out here. I didn't stick to Comedy Sportz with a Z. And I think some people can do it in a like hobby kind of way, like other people like golf or something like that. And I think that's healthy. But I think like being emotionally invested in your improv team and like making a new Herald team is like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
You're trying to get on SNL.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it was sort of a networking hub, to be fair. Like,
No, it's great for that.
Sure.
Yeah, totally. It's great for that.
UCB, not Comedy Sports.
Right, exactly.
I think both. I think all those theaters are great for like making contacts and kind of learning about the business and stuff like that. And yeah, they can be really, really fun. But I think for me, I didn't give it a rest
Right.
as when I should have.
Rob, did you also do improv for too long or at all?
I did it in college.
Princeton.
Yeah, okay.
I've heard of it.
We're going there.
I wasn't going there.
I'm about to have my petard.
I didn't have the grades.
I think. Yeah, so someone started it, and it was like a whole new thing when I was in college. I think that's how old I am, and it was sort of a thing none of us had done before. So it was kind of a cool thing to do, just like to try those skills out in a completely different way. And then I did take a groundlings course as well, and I did not. It turns out my improv teacher was carrying Phineas Eilish in her belly at the time.
Wow.
So that's if that dates things for you a little bit. But,
Wait, is that Billie Eilish's mom?
Brother, who
brother
who produces her stuff with her, like in her bedroom, in the same bedrooms.
So the kids come from improv stock.
Exactly.
Did she eventually carry Billy too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
So he was taught by the womb that gestated Billy also.
That's pretty great.
Right. You are taught directly by the womb in improv. That's how you did it.
Well, that's one school of improv.
Well, it's like Judaism. It comes from the mother.
That's right.
Improv
Yeah.
skills are passed down.
That's pretty fun. Well, no, I was going to say I was going to launch into a Billie Eilish thing, but then
It's kind of hard to come back from that, isn't it?
Hey, he met Justine Bateman and pissed her off, so
Right.
we're no stranger to celebrity.
Billie Eilish is another one of those where I need to. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get Billie Eilish's appeal the way I didn't get Taylor
Daniel's
Swift's appeal.
new thing is he started with like, what's the deal? Not in a Seinfeld way,
steer
but
away
like,
from this
what's the
conversation.
deal with Taylor Swift? And
Right.
had a real like generational
But it's
thing.
more like
and then I almost wanted to secretly record. Yes, it is my show. I almost wanted to secretly. Tony, can you find that one? I almost wanted to secretly record you last night talking at length about Taylor Swift, playing me different Taylor Swift songs.
Well, this is Allison's show.
He was dansplaining Taylor Swift to me.
No, okay, yes, I was. But here's the thing. I don't. It was like an obsessive thought. I don't know if you guys have these where, I was watching these videos on TikTok, and it was all this live footage from her show, and everybody's going to her show, and I felt like very much on the outside of this in terms of understanding it.
I was shocked at how much of like my social media feed was
Yes,
people at
same.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I think it was when was the big SoFi? Is that Sunday night?
Yes.
That was
there was
like
6
every
nights of
night.
it.
Or
Yeah.
one of the first ones, like Twitter, was just all blue dress, enchanted, blue dress,
Yes.
because she put the blue dress on for enchanted. I was like, what happened?
I know.
I haven't
It's-
seen
She
that
gives
since
people
K-pop.
like coded messages.
But all
Yes.
the twinning
Oh.
topics are all about.
Is it like QAnon stuff? Is
Yeah.
it like she
She
wore
made
the
a
blue
drop,
dress?
yeah.
So like
Yeah.
Trump's
It's
gonna
a Monica
Right,
break down
reference.
the deep state?
right? Prepare for the storm. Parentheses Taylor's version.
Oh my god. Yeah, I just felt like I didn't understand. I'm like, I did not realize that
None of us did.
any of this
How
was
could
like
we?
this. Like I felt like, holy shit, I've been asleep in our culture for too long.
And then
so-
everyone you know is posting pictures from it. And
Yes.
it's like they must have done that months ago.
But
And,
not
they
only that-
they all had crazy good seats too.
Right,
That's what I don't
right.
understand. Like, well, I mean, most people we know
and
are like somehow connected, I
losing
guess.
their
but-
minds.
Yeah.
Like,
It was
not,
like,
it's not
really?
like, yeah, it's
You?
not like, oh, I'm at this cool concert. Hey, look, it's Taylor Swift. You know, the one that you hear when you go to Walmart. And so like, I'm sorry. I know some of you love her and I love you. So whatever. Get over it. But they're freaking out. And I'm like, okay, I've got to figure out what this is. And so I
And
listened.
now he's a Swiftie.
Well, I went into it without judgment, and I listened to her Ouvre. I listened to all of the starred song because I'm not going to listen to every
So
fucking
this is
song.
like I think I disagree with. I do like Taylor Swift, and I do kind of
get
like,
out of here.
get it.
Get the fuck out.
But I do what I'm about. I appreciate how you dislike something after having done the research about it.
No, actually,
No, he
just
likes her now.
No,
okay.
no. Let me be
Okay.
clear. So I listened to all of her music because
It's like a O. Henry story.
I know. Listen, this is why I stopped awkwardly.
I wish I hadn't started you
I know
because there's another story I need to get to.
Okay, I'll be fast.
Okay.
I listened to all of her songs, and I haven't.
You just like clicked play on
Not on all of her
Spotify.
songs. Sorry, all of her starred songs on Apple Music.
That's a lot. That's good.
And I have an appreciation for her.
Right.
Like I feel like, oh, okay, I get it. In terms of like, she's good. Not that good, but good. Like, let's be honest. And then I was like, okay, but I still don't get the freak out. Like that has to do with personal connection to music, whatever.
Sure.
That's fine. So yeah, just to put the button on this forever. I appreciate Taylor Swift. I don't get the depth of passion people have for her, but that's fine.
Your podcast is about to get so doxxed, by the way. Hope you
I
appreciate
know.
that.
I know.
No,
This has been the last episode.
Yeah,
Directed
any
at
more
me.
intense
Directed at me.
fandoms we can piss off.
It's fine. It's fine. Toughen up. No, I'm sorry.
No, I feel like you're
sorry.
presenting it in a more negative way because you played a bunch of her songs for me.
Yeah,
Okay,
but I was trying
anyway.
to stop the conversation.
I know. I'm
about
sorry.
Taylor.
All right. Now, there's a lot of stuff we need to get to. Can you please share the story of your...
Oh, what happened at the birthday party?
Yes.
Oh my God.
This is a birthday party where everybody knew me.
No,
Oh,
this
yes.
is another birthday party. So this is for our youngest, and there's all
Well,
these-
I was at that birthday party talking about Jordan Morris.
Right.
Daniel
Yeah,
was at
so-
a different birthday party with Owen.
yes,
And I didn't come up.
actually no. You know, I've known a lot of these parents now for a couple years, and I was talking to this one dad I hadn't seen in a little bit, and we're chatting, and sorry, I got an sorry. I checked my
I'm,
email. I got an
I'm
email
laughing
from
because
my
I know where this is going.
Okay. So anyway, the party goes on. At the end of the party, I'm saying goodbye to like his wife and give her a hug, and then I go in to say goodbye to him, and I say, "How's it going?"
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "Fine." And then it was just like I feel like
No, he had already talked to him.
I'd already talked to him.
This
for
was now they were doing the
30
goodbyes.
minutes, and I said, "How's it going?" And
So
then I go,
you were like in a perfect world. You say like have a good one.
Yeah, have a good one. But it
Nice
was as
seeing
though
you.
it was as though all of the lines you would say to somebody
Right.
were gone. They were like not accessible. I just grabbed how you doing. It was like
Hot enough for you?
But like in the moment I should have acknowledged like, oh, okay, yeah, that was weird, right? Haha. Instead, it was like I went into a fugue state. I like hugged the last one, and I was just in a daze all the way back to the car. And I was like I think I should kill myself now. I think that this is it. I think this is the end. I can't continue my life after that awkward moment. I want to go back and be like, hey, man, you remember when I said that, but that makes it worse. And so now I'm just living in this horror, this like moment that's extended now for 3 days. Maybe the storm.
What do
will
you
lift.
think he thinks?
He thinks, wow, this guy should probably just kill himself.
Because he's
Like,
still thinking about you constantly.
Yeah, well, he's like, because he was brought into it.
Right.
Like, I didn't ask to be brought into this awkwardness, and now I am part of it with you. No,
But you think that he wondered if you realized you had talked to him.
I was worried. Yeah, I guess the initial worry is like, does he remember talking to me 30 minutes ago? Like, is he crazy?
That's what he'd be thinking about you.
Yeah, and I'm sure he just thought, oh, that was awkward. That guy. I guess it. What is the horror? It's that he really realizes that I'm not cool. I can't have
Do you think
that.
you conducted yourself in a cool manner apart from that? Like, how do you think you did at the party?
So in my mind, it's all very cool. But every now and then you'll just catch a glimpse off of someone reacting to you and you realize this is not cool. Like, I'm a bit of a spaz. So
That was his nickname
yeah.
in high school, right?
Yeah.
In high school, grade school?
Middle school.
Yeah.
At least I was just going to say, at least you still spoke words correctly, because I've gone the other way where I get a lot of social anxiety at times, especially if it's like total strangers.
Yeah.
And when I was young, I briefly worked at this print shop, and every now and then they sent me out to deliver a few things. All I had to do was just go to this other office, hand them this envelope, see you later.
Yeah.
And I do that, and the lady was perfectly friendly, and for some reason I second guess saying "have a nice day" as I'm leaving, and as I'm kind of thinking that, I'm like, I don't want to say that. I want to say "have a good day," and instead, what comes out is I just go "have a gusta."
Oh my God. See, but that's actually Wait, I want to know what happened after that. But that actually, if I heard that, I'd be like, okay, I'm not cool.
It's so far the other direction.
Yeah.
If you fucking sell that if you sold that with a he came up earlier, a McConaughey-esque level of
Just confidence.
no worries.
Yeah.
Have a gusta.
Gusta, it sounds like Spanglish, right?
Yes,
Have a
have a
pleasure,
gusta.
right?
Well, so what did you do at that? Did you just
it was
melt into a puddle?
I had a moment of panic, and I think I kind of froze in my tracks for like a half a second, and I did that very quick. I was like, well, I'm gonna sound crazier if I like try to correct this. So I was like, I'm gonna go with the assumption that she just thinks she heard me wrong, and I'm gonna walk out.
Yeah,
the
it's on
door.
her.
Yeah.
I hope she's listening.
I feel like people are now going to start coming to your shows and say,
Yeah.
have a gusta to
I
you.
will.
Have a Gusta t-shirts, right?
I remember now there was a moment where I looked at him after I said it, and there was like this acknowledgement. I think the power move next time is just to stare them down until in their minds they accept that this is the new way you say goodbye. You just have to dominate the moment.
Now, and you see that guy, and he's like in business meetings, and he's standing up and shaking their hands and going,
How you doing?
How you doing? And then he leaves. I guess that is a kind of a power move, like doing a crazy handshake to someone or something.
Yeah.
Like if you're trying to get the upper hand.
Yeah. I don't want to do social things anymore, honey.
Mark Maron. So this is now a story from a long time ago, but back then, a thing Mark Maron said was like, "You good?" Or maybe he'd say, "Are we good?" I think he'd say, "Are we?" Does anyone know?
I know what you're talking. Something. You're
I think
on
it's
the right
"Are
path.
we good?"
Yeah.
Or "Are you good?" It's one of those.
Right.
And so we had done a live Adam Carolla show, and he was the guest. And then I was waiting in line at the valet thing to get my car. And I saw him, and he said that, like, "Are we good?" But I didn't realize this is just his way of saying, like, "Hey, sup," or, "Hi," or whatever, or "Bye," or, And so I remember feeling like, yeah, what makes you think we might not be good? Like, it felt, I don't
Do you
know.
have a thing that I didn't know about? Did I slight him in some way?
It's like in the
Hard to picture Mark Maron. I mean, thick skin.
Yeah.
At the little small grocery store that I used to go to when I lived in Brooklyn. And yes, I did live in New York, and I don't mention it that often. People give me shit for mentioning it too often. The guy who worked there, who recognized me because I would go there often, would always say, "Hey, how you feeling?" And I remember being like, do I look like I don't feel well? Do I look sick? Like, what
It's like
is
a physician
this?
question.
Yes.
It's like, what is that? Yeah.
But I think it was just cool, casual parlance for "hello, how's it going?"
But the Marin thing implies
That we had beef.
yes.
Yeah, it does. It sounds like
Right?
a closure phrase.
Yeah, like, are we good now?
But I think
I think it's just "are we?" It was just "are we good?" It was something
But I
where
mean,
I was
yes, but it still would throw you. It would throw me.
yes, but then I realized that's his thing because I heard him say it to someone else or something like that.
But like, you can't just have a thing and expect everyone to know that. Oh, that's their thing. That's a little arrogant. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think some dudes just do the thing until it's their thing,
Yeah, what's the
like,
protocol for thing having?
Yeah.
Right.
Do you need to make a
Quorum.
formal announcement? Is there like a doing business announcement?
I will now be saying take her sleazy when leaving a room.
Well, and then you just go, it's my thing.
It's my thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Take her
But
sleazy guy.
the thing that made me think of the Mark Maron moment was I would imagine the guy who had a conversation with you and then put his hand out to say goodbye, and you're like, "Hey, man, how's it going?" would feel a little bit on the defensive of like,
He handled
the same
it
as before.
really well. He was very cool about it. He's like, good. Like, really confused. And that's about the best you could do in that situation.
Have you ever had a situation where, like, you've had this kind of conversation on the podcast and it's gotten back to you like the person heard it?
I don't know.
I guess I
No,
Yes.
I don't know if anyone listens anymore to the show.
we're selling out a cruise ship.
Yeah.
Are we good?
Family will go.
I've had situations like that.
Okay.
Oh, wait. I thought you had a story about that.
No, I
You just
don't. I
wanna
guess I'm
know.
wondering because that would be my telling a story like that of like, and
Yeah.
I never told this guy. I thought it was weird, and then
You do it on the
Anyway.
show.
yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like that has happened, but
just send him the link to this.
yeah.
It's so funny though because you're assuming that anybody remembers this encounter but you, like, right? Like,
It's true. They probably don't. Although I think if someone did that to me, I would remember just because I remember things like that. But the truth is, if that happened and I was him in his shoes, I would be like, I bet you that person's going to be thinking about that all day, and I don't care. It's like all in their head, the awkwardness.
I think
So,
I
I
have a
don't know.
thing. This is not related to what you just said, Daniel, but related to what your question, Jordan. I have a thing. What?
Did I not answer his question?
I'm not answering your question
Okay,
because I don't even
This is
understand.
a viable route. This is a viable route. Allison, you're right.
Thank you. It's my show. That's, by the way, that energy is only directed at Daniel. You guys can usurp and hijack at any time you want. I'm
I'm going to say something bad about Harry Styles now. Really get those hairy heads on your ass. Sorry.
If anything, I tend to think that things I say about people are never going to get to them and they're never going to listen.
Right.
Which is not the right call. And something that I feel guilty about every now and again. Thankfully, there's not that many things where I think to myself, like, that was a shitty thing I did. There's a small handful.
Yeah.
And I cycle through them, just feeling bad. So many years ago, I went to a nutritionist. And it was very expensive. It was in Beverly Hills, which already is just a, I don't want to go to anyone in Beverly Hills. The parking, it's too hard. I want everyone that I go to just be in Burbank, and if not, I will accept Pasadena or Glendale. I
That's
will
reasonable.
not. I
This
will
is
not
very,
go. It's
these are very
hyper-local.
reasonable LA boundaries to draw.
The
I'm
thing
with you.
about, like, if someone's on Camden to get extremely hyper local,
Sure.
then you're parking in like a parking lot that's. I mean, it's just a whole thing.
Well, sure.
And
Well, it's
then
not close to a freeway. Anyway.
Thank you. And this woman was like the skinniest human being I've ever met, which to me, it just screamed, no offense to skinny. It just, and then she just brought out this basket. See, I'm doing it all over again. You don't even know what I'm talking about. She brought out this basket of like rubber food and just was holding up different like these like grapes. And she put like rubber grapes on the table or like a rubber piece of meat or something.
so
and
you're
then,
preschool when this
yes.
takes place.
And it's like, listen,
You know
I
what
have
grapes
been-
look like?
I have,
Eat a fucking vegetable, lady.
I've been dieting since I was 9 or something. Like, I could write a book on the number of calories and the macronutrients of everything. Like, that's why I'm here. But I just felt like it was so expensive. This woman to me screamed eating disorder. I mean, there was just, so anyway, I talked about the whole experience on the show. And really, like, I think a funny way. If anyone remembers that episode, let me know. Did you feel amused? However, what I had like conveniently forgotten was there was a woman that I very casually knew, but she had recommended this woman to me and like really talked about how wonderful she was. And then I came on the podcast, and just shit all over her. Not the one who told me, but this nutritionist. And then like that girl was kind of distant afterwards. Not that I saw her a lot, but and it took me, I don't know, I think like maybe a year and a half later, I was like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, she probably listened to my podcast and probably heard that. And that was really shitty of me. I feel bad about that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yes, of course, I'm allowed to say whatever I want and I'm allowed to have my own opinions. But this was someone that was like, she really appreciated this woman and got something out of it. And instead, I just like shit all over it. I feel bad about that.
We've talked about this recently. It's hard when you shit on something that someone likes.
Well, that takes us back
Generally
to that conversation.
speaking, with
Yucky
Yeah.
no yum.
yeah. And then it's like when someone recommends, this has happened in other ways too, where we got recommended and then we didn't have a good experience and that person feels responsible and bad about it. I don't know. It's hard because with a show like this, you want to just be honest. And I don't know. I feel like I pull a lot of punches because I think of like, oh, I don't want to,
My God, imagine if you didn't pull punches.
I know. I genuinely do like Taylor Swift now. No, I do. I just, look, I'm a 50-year-old man. I've got different tastes.
question for the table.
Mm-hmm.
Should Daniel join AARP? He received a mailing.
I was wondering the same thing because I was like, I'm going to go through the benefits and say, like, is it worth it for the fanny pack and the cooler?
Well, did you get offered a fanny pack? I got
it's
offered
a cooler or whatever it is.
Well, I got offered a thing that you can put in the back of your car to put groceries in.
Wow.
A trunk.
I was offered a hip brace. Is that?
Should I hold out? Should I hold out for the hip brace and the fanny pack?
And they are on it.
I got
every
like 5
year,
years ago they start saying
we get
Yeah.
a mailing from our mortgage broker, a happy birthday mailing. We get a mailing from Nancy at State Farm. When I say mail, like a birthday card.
Love her.
not even Jake.
No, I know. No, Jake maybe
Somebody
like
doesn't work there.
and then AARP was faster than either of them. The second Daniel turned 50.
The second I turned 50, it's like, hey, it's us. It's like, give
only-
me a fucking grace period.
It's only
like a hate
$16 a
crime.
year.
Yes, it kind of is. Oh my
I wanted
god.
to report it to the
Yeah.
Southern Poverty Law Center.
Yeah.
But then it's like, you get discounts at restaurants and da-da-da.
Right.
It's like, first of all, is it a good discount? Tell me what the
for the
discount is.
subscription. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's also like, but I pay for it in dignity when I put down that card. So I don't know if it's worth.
I thought you were thinking we
5%.
should join for the yucks. Because spouses are covered too. And it's
It's not that much.
You
It might be worth
you get pharmacy discounts or
That's-
pharmacy drug discounts, but we don't know
that's
what they
helpful.
are.
Well,
But
it might
still,
be
yeah.
worth it. I don't know.
I
Dispensary
I
discounts.
feel like
or-
I saw a TikTok. I feel like someone sent me a TikTok. I think you don't have to be 50 to join. I think anyone can just
I'm
join
not 50.
AARP.
Wait,
Oh,
there's
really?
a TikTok about AARP.
It
I
was
feel
like this. It was
how can those two things?
I know, right? It was just this cool young influencer guy. He's like, "Hey guys, okay, so I wanted you to, starts off talking really fast. So here's something people don't know: is anyone can join AARP, and there's a lot of discounts. You can go to hotels, you can go to you can go to and pharmacy discounts. All right, and he's he's hot, and he's holding up his AARP
Listen,
card. I think anyone can. Just
It's not that much, and if that's true, they do lobby to support Medicare and Social Security and stuff. So maybe it's worth
good
it
things.
for that. I don't know.
I literally have the thing sitting on my pile up to do. Of I'm going to sit there and look through the website and see is this all worth it or not. It's
Yeah. And Joel Stein writes for
their
AARP's
magazine, frequent
yeah.
guest Joel Stein.
So
You get the magazine.
you get the magazine.
see, that alone is I don't mind the discounts, but getting the magazine is a little stark, isn't it?
It's what I worry about.
1 month closer to death.
What I worry about is once you're on that mailing list, you start getting catalogs
Yeah.
for stuff for old people.
Yeah,
the
Neptune
catheters,
Society.
CPAP machines.
Not the flyers. You actually get a catheter sent to you of the month.
Someone inserts one.
I've got one in right now.
I heard you need to pee.
Yeah. So I don't know. It was maybe I'll do it. I don't know.
I really like the AAA Westways.
Well, so
magazine.
Rob, have you been on
Yes.
my show with Robin Shore? Do you know Robin Shore?
Yeah, I do. I have been on with Robin. Yeah,
She loves Westways.
I actually do too.
Westways is great.
I used to love it. Lately, my magazine consumption has really fallen off.
Sure.
We have a subscription to People magazine, which aforementioned Joel and Robin are always like, I can't believe you get People magazine.
we
as
don't.
if, as if I'm a doctor's office. Daniel for years had a subscription to Entertainment Weekly, right?
Yeah.
And then it went monthly and then kaput. And they just ported it over to People.
So now we just get People.
Right. But I mean, that's a fun magazine to read.
Yeah,
That
sure.
New
That's a fun
Yorker
thing to
is a
thumb through.
nutritious magazine to
Sure.
read.
Yeah.
And I never ever read any of them.
The New Yorker's there to balance the People magazine.
I can't bring myself to open a magazine. I don't know why. I think it's because my phone is look at me. And I'm
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
It feels like you kind of have to consciously do it, and it's I think, but pre-phone
Bathroom reading.
Right.
All I'm going to say is bathroom reading, especially older guys, right? Am I right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And now you have your phone, so you have no reason.
Yeah, but then you want to do that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you not? Do you keep your phone outside the bathroom?
I do it sometimes, but that's my one concession is I'll say, okay, I'm just not going to do that. I'll take an old magazine,
Oh, that's
I'll take a
smart, though.
Westways.
I'm Marvel
There you
snapping
go.
on the toilet these days. You guys Marvel snapping? Anybody?
I
Snap?
have it. I haven't
Oh my
played
God.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's this Marvel themed card game
Like
where
It's
you
online, right? Or is it?
yeah, it is
mobile game, right?
Yeah, it is a mobile game.
Right.
Yeah, where you collect these Marvel Comics character cards, and you do
Right.
little battles against other people.
And it's fun.
It is you can get done 2 rounds in a deuce. If you're taking a deuce, you can do 2 rounds.
So I need
of
a longer
Marvel
commitment.
Snap.
Is what I'm saying.
So how
Yeah.
long is each round?
2.5 minutes.
Oh well, you're pretty speedy on
Yeah.
there.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Is that a fiber thing? What goes on?
Listen, I'm a fast snapper. I'm a fast pooper.
That's like redundant, actually.
You should
Yeah.
work as a Beverly Hills nutritionist if you thought.
Yeah.
Right.
This is too much info, but that's what I love. So what I'm about to
brand.
say.
The brand's
Yeah,
strong.
exactly. When I was a kid, I would bring like a stack of reading material into the bathroom.
I don't know how long it's going to be.
At the end, when I would stand up and like have those red lines on the back of my legs, my feet would be asleep. I mean, it was it was in the same way that like going to Disneyland, which was like 35 minutes. I would bring, a huge tote bag filled with like lots of different cassettes and Mad Libs, and I just needed to be entertained. Now
You
I
just have
find,
TikTok.
yeah, but here's the thing. This is the TMI. I find that if I really don't want to be reading or doing anything on the toilet other than just like letting nature happen. I find that it's distracting, and I don't know. Is everyone here still reading and playing video games while they're trying to?
I am. I look forward to it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like,
I kind of look at it as an opportunity to get some reading done. It's not on the phone. It's like, oh, here we go.
I like that attitude. I mean, probably should do that. Yeah, I do. Well, I'll get into the news or whatever, and then I'll just.
And like Tony,
Yeah, I look at my phone.
like while the movement of bowel is happening, the bowel movement.
Well, I can't speak to whether I'm reading it while it's happening. Like maybe I do take a pause. I don't know. That's an interesting.
I know.
question.
Yeah, I'm going to notice it next time.
Yeah.
I'm like, do I take a little minute while maximum movement is happening,
Right.
Or is this just something to
What
do?
if you read something dramatic and you clench? You're like, wait,
Right. Oh
don't-
yeah.
Oh.
Sure.
Because at this point,
Yeah.
sometimes I will bring my phone in with me and I'll be like perusing, and I have to wear glasses now. So I'm like looking at my phone. And then eventually I'm like, what am I doing? And I take my glasses off and I take my phone and I put it all aside and I get down to business.
Focus on the
I
business.
did,
at hand.
Rob. I did make the mistake of watching Uncut Gems on my phone.
Oh,
while I was
wow.
trying to, and just nothing happened.
The whole thing.
It's a tense movie. I didn't really do that.
Is it tense in the same?
Then you left some uncut gems.
There you go. That's what
Is
I call my
Uncut
turds.
Gems tense in the same way that scene from Boogie Nights is? Like, is it?
Okay, so Uncut Gems, I think a lot of people found it very tense, but it played into a kind of tension that really gets me, and it's like, will someone's financial life be ruined? Like, it's a
Oh.
guy making really like intense gambling moves.
Is it
and
about
later
gambling?
it turns into like, mob stuff and will he actually die? But the stuff that really stressed me out was like him making irresponsible bets. I don't like that in a movie, and I don't like when someone buys a plane ticket at the airport.
Oh yes.
Fucking free. I would rather watch a decapitation in a Saw movie.
Wait, why?
I don't know. I just like, it just seems like I'm like, this is
Like
a
science
reckless use
fiction.
of money.
We
Such a poor use
That's-
of money.
It's also not
Also-
possible. It's not even possible anymore, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
can
It's
you
like
do that?
science fiction, right?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, if you just walked up to the Delta counter, could you say,
That's
take
funny,
me to
Chris.
Vegas?
I bet you could.
We did it once. We
We
were,
did?
on our honeymoon. We flew from
Oh,
one
yeah.
island in Hawaii to another.
Well, that's different.
And-
Yeah.
But still, because I don't know, this was in 2014. It's not like this was like in 1971 or something. The internet existed, but someone told me it's cheaper to just show up and buy one.
Really?
They were wrong. Or I
Probably
missed,
some handsome TikTok guy that could explain that.
or
Okay, so buy your tickets at the airport. You got to show up. Don't go online. You got to buy them at the airport.
no, it was. I remember being there thinking like we should have done this online because it was like, okay, we're spending extra money and we'll be taking off in 3 hours or something. It was a very dumb move.
Now, what if the person who recommended that is listening? Do you want to go down the nutritionist route again?
I know.
Yeah.
Probably. Guys, clearly I need to take a class from Masterclass.
Mm-hmm.
I love Masterclass. I learned creative writing from Judy Bloom. I just earlier today, I was watching a class. I was learning about creativity and film. And Daniel said, "Is that David Lynch?" And I said, "Yes."
That's a good one. I watched that one, and you get a little booklet with all these, and the David Lynch one is really cool. It's like a
workbook, yeah.
summary of his class that I think he even put together.
Yeah, it's amazing. And David Lynch was talking about something that you believe, Daniel, which is that restrictions sometimes help. Because he was talking about like financial restrictions or just various restrictions in filmmaking, how that can, like, necessity is the mother of invention.
Yeah.
Because I always feel like, don't restrict me, bro.
Yeah, you do say that all the time.
It's like one of the classics. And then also, Penn and Teller teach the art of magic.
Oh my God.
Carla Welch teaches you about your personal style. You can learn cooking. You can learn style. You can learn design. You can learn, Jordan, you were talking about how it freaks you out when people make poor business decisions, financial decisions. There's people who teach you about that.
And there's sports ones. There's that, long distance running one that's really good. Sort of too much class.
With Masterclass, you can learn from the best to become your best anytime, anywhere, and at your own pace. Annual memberships start at $10 a month, and you get unlimited access to every instructor, thousands of online lessons, exclusive content, insights, and much more. There are over 180 classes to pick from, everything from creativity in film with David Lynch to Art of Magic with Penn and Teller. New classes added every month. Some exciting instructors include Gordon Ramsay, Malcolm Gladwell, Steve Martin, Chris Voss, Esther Perel, Mariah Carey, and so many more. Get unlimited access to every class. And right now, as an Allison Rosen is your new best friend listener, you can get 15% off when you go to masterclass.com/bestfriend. That's masterclass.com/bestfriend for 15% off an annual membership. Masterclass.com/bestfriend. I also want to tell you guys about HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. Fall is right around the corner, and HelloFresh is here to help you plan for the busy season ahead with tasty dishes delivered to your door. Simply choose your recipes and pick your delivery date, then lay back and enjoy the last days of summer knowing dinner is covered. And then they also have things where you can like gear it specifically to your menu, to your specific wishes. The key to dinner time success, variety. HelloFresh keeps your taste buds on their toes with 40 chef-crafted recipes to select from every week, from family-friendly to fit and wholesome. You'll always find new and exciting recipes to try and love. I love HelloFresh. I love that it takes the guesswork out of cooking. I love that it's 25% cheaper than takeout, less expensive than grocery shopping. 2, go to HelloFresh.com/50bestfriend and use code 50bestfriend for 50% off plus free shipping. Again, HelloFresh.com/50bestfriend. That's 50bestfriend, and use code 50bestfriend for 50% off plus free shipping. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. Okay, we have stuff to get to, but Rob, I wanted to talk about your new children's horror comedy gross out book. Is that accurate?
That's what I say.
Then I think it is. And
Horror
I think it's
comedy
right in
gross
front
out.
of us.
Oh, how did this get here?
Oh my gosh. I slipped it there. You weren't aware. Tell us about it. Tell
I've
us
heard
what
every
it's
home
called.
has one now. And if they don't, they're bad.
It's called Snot Goblins and Other Tasteless Tales.
Nice.
And it's 5 tales that are short stories that are sort of horror tropes, so about mummies and vampires and ghosts and trolls. Each one is funny, and each one has a heavy, gross-out, juvenile element. It's kind of like, I say, it's like Captain Underpants meets Goosebumps.
And what made you want to write this?
What made me not want to write it?
Yeah, that's a better question.
I have a 10-year-old boy, as I may have mentioned, and that was an inspiration in reading all those books with my kids coming up. And I worked on the Mad Magazine reboot a little while ago with this artist named David DeGrand, who is like what you think of as a Mad Magazine artist. And he and I kind of just vibed, and he's like kind of big in the book world. And someone asked him if they wanted to do like an anthology collection, and he loves horror. So he brought it to me, and we just kind of came up with a bunch of stories we liked together. And then it was just sophomoric magic from then on.
Nice. Yeah. Yesterday in the bath, Owen sneezed, and the detail Elliot went in explaining to me the consistency, size, color, lime green of the boogers that came out.
Enormous.
Gross. Yeah. But just like, I've never heard Elliot be so passionate talking about anything.
Yeah, kids are fascinated by this stuff.
Yeah.
And I think adults are kind of, but we have other things that we're fascinated. But for kids, it's outre. It's like the thing you know, before they know about all the other terrible stuff in the world. And so for them, it's kind of like a little bit dangerous. And so I kind of like that idea for kids.
So how scary would you say it is?
It's not scary at all. It's like Hotel Transylvania type of like horror comedy. Like
Okay.
there's nothing scary in
I
it.
mean, this really is right up Elliot's alley.
Yeah.
He's obsessed with Halloween and all things horror, for kids,
Right.
and then gross stuff. So, I mean, good Lord.
I think the thing that was the inspiring thing was my daughter when she's in third grade. So have you guys been through the Captain Underpants books? Have you?
We haven't done that
Not
yet.
yet.
Oh my God, they're going to love them. They're not going to, that's all they're going to read for like 3 years.
Oh, wow.
So get ready for that. So in one of them, there's like a little rubric where you can get your Captain Underpants code name. Like you take like what letter your first name starts with and your last name. And it's like, my name is Poopy Booger Pants or something like that. Like everyone gets one.
Uh-huh.
And this was so prevalent to my daughter's third grade class that the teacher had to put an official ban up on the board of like no Captain Underpants names. And I'm like, that's the sweet spot. I want that thing the kids all have to do that the teachers hate. And so that was sort of like where I decided to go with it.
That's awesome. Can we see the book?
Sure. You'll have to describe all of it to your listeners.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, first of all, it
Do all
looks
the
amazing.
voices.
Yes. Yeah.
Look at that. That looks amazing. Who's the
So much
art?
snot.
That's the artist. So he has this gooey
like I've seen his art
tactile-
before.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does like Man Magazine.
It looks like 90s Nickelodeon to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
He came up with that. He
Oh my
does like
God.
SpongeBob comics and Simpsons comics.
This
so,
looks great. Oh, Jesus.
Yes,
Yeah, Elliot would love this.
Yeah. Well, he's going to get that copy of it today.
Thank you.
Ooh. He's ready. I think he's ready. It's in comic book form.
Oh, cool.
it's a
and
graphic
I
novel.
think
Wow.
he's ready to start. He hasn't really read any kind of comic, where you have the panels and everything. He hasn't done that yet.
Right.
So but I
You
think
didn't start him on Watchmen yet, or Dark
He's
Knight
got to learn
Returns?
about
start
Watchmen
him.
sometime.
We're going to start him on that. Yeah, absolutely.
You don't want him to learn about Watchmen
excuse me.
on the
From Hell is where he's going to start.
There we go.
Wow.
There we go.
That
Okay.
fucking bullshit. Yeah. We'll have to read that.
Yeah, it's for like we say it's like 6 to 11 because there's some like adult sophisticated stuff in there that sort of snuck in there. But then it's also like you can just look at the pictures and kind of figure out what's going on. So
Like what adult sophisticated stuff?
there's like history references. There's like little cultural things. There's
Okay,
like
pass.
Yeah.
They're
I
carefully hidden.
am a childless man. I have a copy of Snot Goblins. I really like it. It's very funny. I think it is kids entertainment in the way that like SpongeBob and Teen Titans Go is kids entertainment. It's just like funny stuff. It's silly and
But that was the other thing is like I watch. There's you guys know there's so much shit you watch with your kids, right? So much of it is just shit, right? We're not going to get specific, but
We've reached new levels of shit. Because
Yeah, we have, because
he
he's
gets
all over YouTube.
oh yeah, YouTube is like shit, but they scream, right?
There is a style of YouTube video called like what do they call it? It's like YouTube.
The shorts, the YouTube shorts,
No, it's like YouTube shit. And it's literally like
YouTube sharts. I think it's called.
and it's like hashtag YTF or something, and YouTube shit videos. And
We
it's,
tried to block it on his
I
account.
tried,
Couldn't.
and because we have a family account, and I blocked it, and it won't fucking block. Thanks, YouTube. And so he watches these constantly, and basically someone chops up, I don't know, Royce Bedoyce or
Which
Peppa
already
Pig.
I can't stand Royce
Yeah.
Bedoyce.
what's that? I mean,
You know
I
what
hate
that
the
is?
name.
It
What
sounds
is
like
it?
an onomatopoeia.
It might be a YouTube thing. It's like a show where it's like Royce Bedoyce, make the right choice, or like Peppa Pig or something where and gets them to say like cuss words like, where it'll be like edited really annoyingly. So it's like, or what was that Pixar movie with the red panda?
Turning red.
Yeah.
Turning red.
And they'll be like,
Oh, I know what you're talking about. There's one called Starfishy. Is that one?
I don't know,
My
but
son was watching this. They're super annoying. Like
They're
they're
super
sonically like
grating.
an
Yes,
assault.
Yeah.
yes. Royce
There's a lot of
Bedoyce
that.
already is like sonically painful. And
but then they make it
them say bad
purposefully
words
worse.
and things. Yeah.
And so it sounds horrible, but then it's all like shit and poop and
Give your
fuck.
brother a hand job.
Yeah.
That was where I
No,
was like,
it's
what is he
dirty.
watching?
I know, and I can't
Wow.
block
Oh my
it.
God.
Like
Yeah.
it won't let me block it.
So via
Anyway.
this, Elliot recently announced, oh, damn it, fucks.
Wow.
And then I had to explain to him, it's weird because Owen used a bad word like a year ago, but Elliot hadn't said any yet. I think I knew them by this age, but I had to explain that like there's certain words that people think of as bad words. And so you can only use them at home. You don't, you'll get in trouble if you use that at school. And then I was again, I don't know if this is the right way to handle this. I was trying to teach him alternatives. So you could say like, oh, dang it, or
Sure.
oh, darn, or oh,
Fudge.
shucks.
Who doesn't love
yes.
fudge?
but it's like, it doesn't make any sense to him, you know?
Sure.
And then yesterday he's like, shit. And I again, I think he learned this from YouTube.
Yes.
We act as if it's not a failure of our parenting, that he's learning stuff on
Yeah,
YouTube
it's
as if it's
YouTube's
YouTube's fault. Yeah. And so I'm like, that's one of those, you know, words where you'll get in trouble if you use it in school. And he's like, but you didn't teach me that one. I was like, oh boy.
Then you brought the George Carlin album.
Yes.
Oh, that's what I should do. That's where we should go next.
This is real comedy, kids.
But so there's so much shitty. Like we used to call Dora the Explorer. I called it like the screechy sound from the other room, so I can take a shower.
Yes.
That's like there's so much bad stuff, and then there's a few things like Jordan mentioned, like, you know, a lot of the Cartoon Network stuff, like, you know, that are just like you enjoy watching it with your kids, and so I wanted to create that a thing that you could read with your kids, that you would get it on some level and you enjoy it. It wouldn't feel like you were sort of, you know.
I love that. There's also books that people self-publish, children's books, and some of them are good, but you know, there's some where, you know, it's clearly just a cash grab, and I think my mom will buy some of these Halloween books.
Oh.
And
Yes, there are some books that like look like books, and we're like, what
it's
is
just like
this?
The
so
beautiful
bad.
artist, right? The art is beautiful. It looks like slick, but
It's
then
not even.
Yeah.
not even that good.
Yeah, and it's just like, ugh. But then
Spoiler
he'll
alert.
like it, and
Right.
so I'll have to. It'll enter
Like
into
what's
the
one of them?
routines. There's like what is it? How to catch a unicorn, or how to catch a. By the way, there's a whole series of books like How to Catch a Vampire or whatever. Does not answer the question. Does not teach you how to catch a vampire.
That's fucking bullshit.
You had one job,
That's
bro.
going to get
Yes.
some kids killed or turn into vampires. I
It's
guess.
irresponsible.
How do dinosaurs say happy birthday? Okay, tell me.
The fossil record is silent.
No, the book doesn't even attempt to answer the fucking question.
Wow.
It is
It's some
amazing
bullshit.
that like, we're at
So mad.
looking at children's entertainment from a childless man's perspective.
Yes, sir.
It's like you do have all this like great stuff. Like you have like Adventure Time. Like,
Yes.
you know, kids have 10 different beautifully animated, actually funny shows about how gender is a spectrum.
yes.
But then you have the thing they actually just want to watch is a screeching guy who's
Yeah.
edited Peppa Pig to say fuck.
Yes, I've tried to. We had a minute where they were into Yo Gabba Gabba. And
Oh yeah,
some
that's
of the
true.
better
That's a great
stuff.
example,
Yeah.
right? That's like actually pretty fun
That's
to
like
watch.
the parents are like, no, we're watching Yo Gabba Gabba.
Yeah, kind of. But then
We're watching.
they get your energy. They're like, well, I'm definitely not
Yeah,
watching
that's-
Yo Gabba
no,
Gabba now.
right.
They're having fun.
Yeah. But yeah, the bad just triumphs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the kids' books. Yeah, especially, and it's like spoiler alert, they learn to share, you know.
Yeah.
They all end the same way. It always ends with the kid going to sleep or someone going to sleep.
So
You did there.
if someone wants to buy Snot Goblins, where might they go?
Oh, it's not for sale.
Oh, okay,
copy.
interesting.
I got to meet you on the street.
Hollywood Boulevard.
We have a website called snotgoblinsbook.com, which also has some animated videos and some activities and events that we did. Like, we just did an event in your backyard. I can't believe I didn't tell you about this. Right here in Burbank, there's all these cool-ass horror stores.
Yes.
You know
Yes.
about them, Mystic Museum and Dark Delicacies.
Oh,
and-
Mystic,
yes.
is that the one with all the taxidermy?
yes.
That store freaks me out.
You're thinking of Vulture.
A vulture.
Well, it's also
is
the
it?
one with the
Something-
taxidermy. So
Yes, they do. Well, but that one's more specifically like horror
Yeah.
stuff. The one that you're talking about, which is
Vulture culture or something.
Vulture Cult,
Just
which is
stuff
It's
like
not
things.
vulture culture, but it's like, it's vulture something. I
anyway,
feel like it's vulture oddities.
yeah, and it's like this very goth
Goth taxidermy
okay.
shop.
Anyway,
okay.
but yes,
It's all so Burbank. Like the fact that
It's so
Burbank
Burbank.
is the place where these places exist. Is
we don't even know which
fucking
one we're talking
awesome.
about.
Yeah.
yes,
No, but so not even that. There's a square mile in Magnolia Park. Like, I don't know if this is Magnolia Park or not. but
it is.
I think so.
Where like there's 5 of them, and I discovered this. My son goes to Geeky Teas and Games, you know that one, the game shop. So, and then I just had this idea, like, let's create like a sort of scavenger hunt where we
Ooh.
created 5 character cards. So I love that I'm promoting something that doesn't exist anymore.
I know. Thank you so much for letting us know this thing that we wish we went to.
I don't think I knew about your exact kid situation then, but but maybe we'll do it again. So we had like 5 character cards, one at each store. The kids had to go to all 5 of them with their parents, and
That's cool.
And then they get a prize if they do all 5. And it was really just an excuse to get kids and their parents into these stores and stuff like that. And then we sold the book at 2 of them, and we did pretty well. But it's like there's such a little subculture here for
Yeah.
I think parents and kids who like that stuff.
So
Love
did
it.
you like go to the owners of each store and explain what you wanted to do?
Yes,
and-
we went through weeks of negotiations, and then none of them told their managers on duty that day. I don't want to diss any of them because they all did a great job in the end. But it was like no one even like mentioned this. Like, wasn't there an email or something?
Was that you? I mean, because I'm just hearing that and I'm thinking like that is creative promotion that involves legwork. Did you do it yourself?
Yeah. But I mean, it's like fun legwork to go to like cool stores, and also they're like very chill people who are like like this stuff.
And they like any kind of, they're all small businesses, so they like anything that gets people in their stores. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elliot is obsessed with the Halloween town, which they have a couple storefronts. And,
that's part of the Square Mile. I think there is a Halloween town. in there.
I still haven't been. It sounds scary. So the funny thing is I have like a goth child who loves horror. I am such a wimp. I cannot handle horror. Like I can't handle anything scary. I do not like any of that. And it's just perfect that my kid is into all of that.
Does he want to watch like legit horror, or is it all
No.
like Hotel Transylvania and stuff?
No, he's into like creepy,
He loves the Addams Family.
Okay.
but he's into creepy clowns and like dolls, and because people really go all out for Halloween in Burbank.
Oh, yeah.
So there was this house that had a swing, and was it Reagan from The Exorcist?
Yes.
That movie. I'm still traumatized by watching that movie at age 13 under a blanket. I didn't even watch it. I just heard
That
it.
was
and
one. That is like a supreme. Even now, is a supremely fucked up movie,
So
and it was
terrible.
just one. It was just like a sleepover movie for
I
us.
don't even remember anything about it. I just know that
Like it's like a kid watched Hereditary at a
Yeah.
sleepover now.
it. I need to like go to Wikipedia and read the synopsis. Except that'll give me nightmares.
That's worse because it's like so like and then this happens. Oh my god! And this happened. Oh my god!
In your imagination.
All I remember
right.
is she comes downstairs, does the pea soup throw up, and then I was like, not for me, under the blanket, and then couldn't sleep for 6 months or something. I would go when I was at the grocery store with my mom. I would open at this shows what time it was. What era it was. I would pick up TV Guide and I would flip to I was going to say scroll. I would flip to the back
Where they
where
had
it
the
showed
movies?
movies, and I would look under E to see if Exorcist was playing if it was going to be shown that week on TV. Because
And
if
then
it
just
was, I
not
had
watch
to
any TV.
avoid. I was so afraid that we would. That's how afraid I was. But so anyway, there's a house that's all like done up for Halloween, and they have this swing, and then there's this. Is it Reagan or Regan? Reagan doll. And I forget what it's like an animatronic doll. I forget what it says. It's so creepy. And Elliot was obsessed with it.
I know. And we only saw it from the car. We would drive by because this particular house, is that the clown house?
No, there was also a house that had like 137 scary clowns.
Oh my God. Yeah. If you're in the area on Halloween, come to Burbank because people go crazy out here.
But apparently they don't give out the level of candy that like Toluca Lake does.
Right. It's not great for candy. Well, it's okay for
Isn't that
candy.
better? Don't you like less candy, but more?
If you're a child
I
listening to
think-
this.
No, I know, but right.
Well,
You
but
guys-
also Toluca Lake gets flooded with people, so there's also the crowds. Toluca Lake's pretty good for Halloween too, but Burbank, I think just because you have a lot of people who work in the business below the line, lots of special effects type people, and
there's literally like makeup and wardrobe stores,
Yes.
like on Riverside and Magnolia.
it's a great place to grow up if you're into that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's like that same outre thing too. It's like this scary thing, and it has to do with death, and it's like the thing. Your mom gets freaked out about it. Like there's something there that's like gives kids a charge, right? Like
Definitely.
Like I got to know about that. Like
Right. We should just act like it's no big deal.
I have to ask. I know the word outre. I've used it before, but
it's
outre
just
like on the
Princeton-
edge.
the Princeton education. Just
I know. Oh my God. But I'm a word person. So
Yeah,
you'd think I would
you're-
know.
I think
But does
it's
it
like-
mean like on the edge?
Yes,
Like
yeah,
kind of
beyond the
avant-garde?
pale. I would say,
Okay.
like, a little forbidden, kind of like
Right.
that.
Will you look? It's
He's going to tell me I'm
OUTRE.
using it wrong. I'm going to find out. Like
I know, I hate that. She does that to me all the time.
It's okay.
Was that like the improv team named Princeton like Uno Dos Outre or something?
Oh, that's so good. Or like
wish.
outre Anastasio.
That's
oh wow,
even better.
Outre cool.
Outre cool.
No, that was for
drummer of
improv,
Outre
improv that
Green
never
Day.
ended. It lasted like 6 hours.
It just says unusual and startling.
Oh, that's it. But you used it right then. Good
Yeah, I
job.
guess
What
so.
did you major in?
Anthropology. That should open up a whole vein right there.
Did you like it? Like the school going there?
I did. I mean, those elite institutions are kind of have their own weirdnesses, and like I have a lot of people that were like fun to hang out with in college are now in like, what I would consider soul stifling careers, making buttloads of money, but like
Yeah.
I can't imagine that life. And I'm like, oh wow, we were on the humor magazine together, and now you do that.
Yeah.
You know, that's very outre. But I mean, I think ultimately a college is still kind of a college, but it does have a history too. You know, like that stuff is weird. I think maybe I'm looking back on it.
I always liked Princeton the most of the Ivy Leagues. I don't know why. Maybe the architecture or where it is.
It is a beautiful campus and a beautiful,
It really is.
and it's in a little like bucolic town.
Yeah.
You know, like
Did you grow up on the East Coast?
Yeah, I'm from Atlanta. So, and it's kind of like they call it the most southern of the Ivies, I think. So, I guess a lot of people from my school went to it. So I just
didn't know that.
That's so weird. I don't think of Atlanta as the East Coast, but I mean, I guess it really is.
Well, are we talking hip hop or as we?
Well, you think of it as Southern.
It is.
Right,
It is
I
a little
think
bit outside.
Southern,
My mom would
yeah.
say if you take Atlanta out of Georgia, you get Mississippi. So it is like in its own kind of category for sure.
Yes.
Oh, so Atlanta holds the Mississippi at bay.
Yes. That's their slogan.
Holding Mississippi at bay.
Okay, let's say hello and welcome to the
Tony.
new patrons and Tony.
Allison wants to say thank you to a couple of special people out there who signed up to be new patrons. Patreon.com/Allison Rosen.
That like phased in and out of all of our headphones.
I tapped this.
Oh, Jordan.
That one was me.
No.
I would totally tap that.
This is actually on me. We should not have
Such
a little
janky
Oh,
headphone situation.
and see, see.
It's also
I
in a
just did
puddle
it.
of water. Is that supposed to be?
What is happening here? Is everyone hearing that?
Did you get that at Radio Shack?
Hello? How's everyone?
Sounds
How's
good
everything
now.
sound now?
This is great.
Yeah.
All
great.
it needed was for me to tap it. I would tap that too. Hello and welcome to Megan Wanger, who signed up for an annual subscription.
Nice.
Hello to Alicia Bishop, and hello to Catherine Teresi.
These are my favorite people this week.
Yes. Now, listen, if you have become a new patron and you're like, hey, you didn't say my name, don't worry, I will. There's a little glitch happening. Again, I'm sharing too much. There's a little glitch happening where I can't get to the tab that shows me. So I need to either contact Patreon or log out and log in. I need to fix this. So there's some names that I was not able to view today to write them down. It'll be okay. You will get your shout out and it will be meaningful. While I'm talking Patreon, I also want to tell you guys about my other podcast. Well, there's Childish, which is just, get that everywhere. But Allison and Todd After Hours is a new podcast that I'm doing with Todd Perry from Upwardly Weekly. And you can get that at patreon.com/Allison and Todd. There's only one level. It's $2 a month. And it's fun. Please check it out. Let's do Just Me or Everyone.
Sometimes I ponder on something I have thought or done. Is it just me or everyone?
All right. Who has a Just Me or Everyone?
I can go. I can go with one.
Okay.
Okay. Just me or everyone. Often find out about trends or memes because you're seeing the parody of it.
Oh.
I have an example.
Okay.
I saw a meme that said "girl dinner" and just had a picture of a bunch of dildos. So I had to reverse engineer what girl dinner was because I knew that wasn't it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I had to learn about the girl dinner meme, but I was only seeing the parody of it. And I feel like that happens to me more and more now, where I'm seeing like either the backlash or the spoof of
Everything
something.
moves so fast.
Yeah,
right?
totally. Like the meme was like over and people were already dicking on it by the time it got to me.
Yes.
Especially since I'm not on Twitter anymore. I feel like.
What? Oh, X? Okay.
Thank you.
Truth Social.
Yes. I just I feel like I don't see much of any of that anymore.
Yeah,
like
sure.
the whole like trending thing is gone, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm out of it.
How do you live?
It's hard, actually. I'm trying to port over to Reddit, but Reddit requires a little bit more like planning,
Curating.
You got to find the community.
Right. You got to follow all those subreddits that you're into.
And I hear it's kind of imploding or something too.
Is it?
Oh, really?
Some Redditor friends are like, yeah, they're kind of like messing with it, like kind of the way that Elon messed with. I mean, not the same way, but like they're tinkering with it. What was working? It's like
I do feel it when I'm a very casual Reddit user, but I do have the app, and I do have like things that I follow that I like.
Yeah.
It's mostly Simpsons memes, but I do feel like when I just do that little scroll to like look at something in an off moment, like I am seeing more weird stuff that I don't like that I don't follow.
Mine, I finally like tried to click around because I'm like, why am I getting so much Fighter and the Kid info? Do you know what that is?
No,
That is a podcast.
Is that one comedian?
Yeah, it's Brian Callen and Brendan Schaub. And I'm like, when did I...
Wait, did Callen... He got canceled, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that is also kind of one where I am like, I kind of am aware that the like I've pivoted right assholes are something, but I'm always teetering on, do I learn about this guy? Like I, kind of know who Jordan Peterson is and kind of know he was mad at Barbie, but I'm like, do I learn about this guy? What would learning about this guy do for me? What would it entail? And I do, there's some of that stuff, like I've enjoyed reading about like QAnon, that's kind of interesting.
Who hasn't?
Well, yeah, it's a hoot.
It's fun.
Yeah, those wacky kids. But there are some things like that where I'm like, oh, what I do feel pulled to like, I do kind of want to learn about like who's in Joe Rogan's orbits, but I
But it's
stop
also like
myself,
some of them
or
are-
most of the time I do.
Yeah.
it's hard to tell because some of them are just like trying to do that as a thing. Like they're
Right,
just
sure.
posers and like they're sort of like this is a thing to do now to have my brand. And so it's like, are they actually anything, or are they just
Right.
just repeating the same moves as everyone else?
There's a lot of that.
With the whole Jonah Hill thing, the recent Jonah Hill news?
Is this if you need surfing with men?
Yes.
Okay,
right.
obviously, it's a shame that his girlfriend had to go through that. It is a shame that women everywhere have to go through that.
You mean dating him?
Yeah,
I remember when I
dudes
dated
like
him,
that.
it was rough.
Yeah.
Surfing?
There was something about just seeing that text exchange, and there's a sentence. He's like listing the things he doesn't want her to do anymore.
So in case anyone's not up on this, his ex-girlfriend posted some texts between them.
That showed that he was like insecure and controlling. But that's one of those things, just to explain why I brought it up, but then I want to hear what you had to say. That's one of those things where the jokes about it,
Right.
it was
I
everywhere.
totally saw that after it was a joke already.
Yes,
And,
and then I'm like,
I
why
did
is
the
everyone
math. I was
talking
like,
about
right.
Jonah Hill? And I couldn't find it on Twitter. I had to Google Jonah Hill, and then it came up just on Google. Anyway, what were you saying?
No, just that reading his text, there's a phrase that is just stuck in my head, and it's like, if you need surfing with men, and just the fact someone this thinking about
need
someone
it.
saying, I need surfing with men. I need it. I need surfing with men. Well, if you need surfing with men, we can't
Is
be
that
together.
or what if you just want surfing with me?
No,
you guys know about
It's a
want me,
need.
right?
Yeah, you gotta figure out the
Right.
difference.
Very
It's just
important
such
for
a
kids.
weird sentence. Anyway, it's like a line from I Think You Should Leave or something.
Yeah,
It is.
I'm gonna go surfing with men.
you need it.
I need it.
I need it. Oh, I need it.
Hi. Why are you staring at me?
I don't know.
It's also
I don't
crazy
know.
about the thing you brought up is that we've all been trained to do that math automatically, right? Like you saw that thing, it was like, okay, Jonah Hill said a thing, you could see the shape of it.
Right.
You almost don't even need to see the referent anymore. You can already like kind of imagine, what the original thing was just from the parody.
I wonder how many social media mentions it takes for us to all separately go like, okay, what's behind this?
Right.
Like
Great
one or two
question.
girl dinners you might think is a coincidence, but like I'm sure there's a specific number.
There is a subreddit that is like, I forget, it's like explain to me Peter or something like that, and it's people will post like something they've seen and go, I don't get it, what, explain this, and then someone will explain what the reference is. So
Only if they're named
if
Peter.
you're on the third level of referencing a meme, you can just put it on there and someone will give you the background.
One of my favorite Reddits is, it's like, what was that book or something? And it's just people posting random books or plots they remember from when they were a kid, and then people try to find the book for them. Jordan, I don't have the Reddit app, although whenever I look at Reddit, it asks me and it's very pushy. Are you sure you wouldn't appreciate
better in the app.
better? You have a better experience.
That's
and I say
the
no.
key of the problem right now is that the owner is trying to make everyone use the Reddit app for some money reason, and people you experience it on their own app. There's a lot of other choices of apps,
Right.
and they're trying to cut down on that, and it's
I see.
pissing a lot of people off. I think so.
Well, that's my question. Do you have a better experience on the app?
It like looks nicer and it's pretty easy to scroll. But yeah, I think my complaint about my Reddit experience now is just that like when I'm doing that initial scroll, there's just so much stuff I don't follow and don't care about.
Yes.
and, and some stuff I like actively don't like. So it's
Right. Plus, the Reddit's one of those things where it's like, it's hard to know. It's impossible to know how. There's no like directory.
right.
It's like subreddits are like you either find it or you don't. It's not like there's like, okay, I'm just going to go to the A through Z part and just find some subreddits that look good. You kind of, so the like, who knows what's in there that you might like or whatever. But I miss trending topics. Go ahead.
Rob, did you have it just me or everyone?
Yeah, it's when you go to get your haircut, and depending on what kind of haircut it is, either before or after, when they like spray your hair down and like run their fingers through your hair to kind of smooth out, and then you're like, oh my god, I should just pay for this. Like, can I just have this for an hour? Like, forget the haircut.
Yeah, that is a good. I
The
used to go.
old scratch and spritz.
Yes, that's what they call me.
I tried to tell our boys that like this is the best. I love this part of getting my haircut when they wash your hair and they massage your scalp. Why are you hating this so much?
I was always afraid I was going to bang my head on that sink.
Oh,
I feel like I always
That's the
had
thing. You're living on the edge. It's like that. I could have like a serious like cerebral spinal injury, or I could have like a great moment.
Right. No, you're
There's
right.
no in between.
It's outre.
Tray.
It's like the magic eye. You just have to.
There's one
gotta look at
place
your
that I
reflection,
went
man.
to that would advertise that scalp massage or head massage was part of it, and they would actually like use a special. It was at the shampoo bowl, hence already you're on the edge. But then they would like take out a special oil and then like really give you like a 4-minute massage. And I remember thinking like, what if I get turned on?
Right. It is in that little nether zone too, right? You're like,
kinda-
where's this going?
Yeah, it's like, all right, I'm ready.
What are we? What are we?
Now, would they have separate people doing the scalp massage
No.
than the hairstylist?
See, but this is like
Oh no, it was it was an assistant. You know how some hair people have an assistant who shampoos you?
Well, I went to a place where they would have just a room, and you go in there, and then they just have the gals that would do that, and then you'd have to tip them separate from the whole
Right.
thing.
But it is like the dead eye
get
thing.
it.
Like I think it's when they're trying too hard to do that whole thing. It's like when it just comes up organically as part of the process. It's just so
Yes.
like nice and relaxing.
There's a thought of like, oh, they're doing this because they like me.
That's what it is, right? or they're grooming me for lice. I have salt in my hair.
I had an experience. So I have a. I should join AARP with where this is going. As regular listeners know, I have a heat pad that I love.
A heat pad.
I have 2 heat pads.
There's a heat pad in every room.
That's not true,
Okay.
but I would like it to
That is
be.
the American dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're almost there.
I used to be all about the electric blanket, but then I realized I can get more bang in a smaller piece of fabric. So now
YOLO,
go,
man.
girl. Pad.
Yeah.
Yes. So I get in bed at any time of day. I crank the heat pad to 6 and I put it on my midsection, and then I lay there, and sometimes it just feels so good, like ripples of pleasurable sensation going up and down my body. And I was like, I'm having like a non-sexual orgasm. There was nothing sexual about it, but the sensation was so good. And then I was thinking, like, does everyone what causes you to have a non-sexual orgasm?
Non-sexual one? I don't know. Like,
Is there anything that because I feel like that's kind of what Rob is talking
Yeah,
about.
kind of.
I don't think that's ever happened. A non-sexual orgasm.
I think
Just something where you're like, oh,
So,
this
well,
feels
something
so
that
good.
really feels good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think when I'm like, I feel like if I am looking forward to a food,
Oh, yeah.
a piece of food, and you kind of like, you're like, okay, I know for dinner I am getting, let's say, hot wings,
Yeah.
and you kind of like prepare all day for the hot wings, and like
You
and, like,
edge.
you edge exactly, right? You just pour Frank's into your mouth. Oh, sorry.
Oh, jeez.
Tony's microphone. Or like you're like, I'm just gonna have a little yogurt for breakfast. Maybe I'll do sweet green for lunch, and then I'm like, when you're hungry enough to where like this treat thing is gonna be like 10 times better. I love that.
Yes. Tony, non-sexual orgasm.
Kind of along the lines of what Rob said, but more so like a light touch on the back of the neck.
Sure.
Oh God.
Yeah, like actually,
what
will,
scenarios?
Like, give me,
what scenarios does that happen?
Well, just my girlfriend.
Yeah,
a
spider landing on you.
Yeah.
Ooh. What are we?
Just it gives me chills, like in a good way,
in a pleasurable way.
Yes.
I've heard people describe ASMR making them feel this way, but I have, in the same way that a light touch on the back of my neck would make me want to punch someone. I think ASMR, I also just get like stuff whispering in my ear. I hate it. Get
or you
out of
laugh
here.
at it because it's just ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't do it for me.
There's two things with that. Is like, one, I think there's a lot of terrible ones out there, but then two, I think I've heard that it literally doesn't work for everyone. Like it's literally a thing.
It's like a cilantro gene that you have. or
Rolling
don't
your
have.
tongue, yes.
Yeah.
And let's close out with, does anyone need to tell anyone to fuck themselves?
Oh man, I feel like I did.
I feel like you always have one on deck.
I know.
Swifties, the Bay Hive,
90% of them are driving.
QAnon.
whatever they
related.
call Lizzo fans.
Oh no. Yeah, I can't.
Okay.
Oh, I have a go fuck yourself.
All right.
If you're in a parking spot where there's a lot of people, I don't know, dropping kids off at school and they need those parking spots, and so there's like tons of cars, and you get into your car, go. Don't get on a call. That is not the place
Car
to get on a
delays,
fucking
yeah.
call because people saw you, and now you probably most of the time it's me, am waiting for you and blocking cars behind me, and you're just sitting there like a fucking jerk. So that you can.
Hey, go fuck yourself.
Tony,
Yeah.
what's going on with your neighbor?
No new development. Well, the only so I have catching them up briefly. Just that I have a neighbor behind me. I'm in a house in front. There's a couple apartments behind us. This old man neighbor behind us, very nice, but doing some weird overstepping things, like storing things like against the side of our house,
Right.
And, just weird. Like was literally on our like porch, like hosing it down. Like what are you
very
doing?
weird.
Yeah.
Use
things-
Tony's outdoor broom.
Yeah, like literally, just using our stuff. So, anyways,
Slept
yeah,
with his girlfriend.
I told the landlord if this was getting a little weird,
Oh, wow.
and he's like, I'll he understood, was super cool about it, and like as soon as he did that, he moved all the like wood
Oh.
he'd been storing on the side of our house. However, all of that wood is now he just like set it in the front, like on the curb, and
like to give it away?
I think he just thinks somebody's gonna magically come take it,
Oh.
and I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
until like somebody calls to have that
I
picked
think
up.
you do have to
Calls
call.
large wood pickup.
exactly. And again, this guy doesn't speak English, so he's not doing that.
Oh.
Now it's the landlord's problem.
Yeah, that's kind of because I mean the landlord knows the whole situation now, obviously, so he knows that's where it came from. So
It's not
we'll
passive
see.
aggressive wood. You don't think it's like a passive aggressive thing? Like
I think it
I
is.
will say that he used to always say hi anytime he saw us, and now he kind of like doesn't look at us.
Oh no, this makes me sad now.
But like, come on, are you really gonna be that petty?
Wood.
Yeah.
The guy.
Yeah.
That's-
How old is he?
Probably in his 70s. Probably
Because I'm like in the market for a new dad.
Oh.
When we were in Hawaii, I found myself having a not a conversation. There, like, this older Asian man sat down on a chaise lounge and it kind of like tipped forward, and then he laughed and caught my, or maybe I inserted myself into his moment. I don't know. But we had a moment of laughing and I was like, whoa, I didn't know how dangerous it was. And he's like, I know. And then I wasn't aware, but I found myself being like,
Are you my new dad?
would you like, oh my God, there's like an a dad-shaped hole in my life, and I'm looking to fill it maybe with this guy. I don't know.
Asking this guy to play catch.
Yeah, like it didn't go further with that guy. But I'm just saying, like, if
Could you look disappointed in me without saying it?
Exactly.
Tell me you think my show is fun, but not funny. It's fun.
Wait, who else needed to tell someone to fuck themselves?
I mean, it's more of a want than a need.
Yes, okay.
That person in front of you at the store who apparently has never learned how commerce works or cash registers and is unfamiliar with like the modern economy. Like, are they a time traveler? Like, there's pieces of paper. They need 3 managers to deal with them, and they're always in the line that you choose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Am I right?
It's true.
It is. I feel like there's a thing where it's like, I always feel like when I have some sort of like, if I'm using a coupon, for instance, the person at the cash register has never heard of the coupon.
Yes.
Right. There's a reason. Right. Exactly. Like, what's causing all that? Like, why are these things problematic?
Sure.
Like, these like.
Yes. Whenever I am holding up the line because the person has to get someone, I wish there was a way to telegraph, like, it's not me, it's them.
I was big on,
Yeah.
I don't know if Yelp still does this a lot, but there's like the check-in bonus.
Yeah.
Where if you like hit check-in, you can get a little
You were the
freebie.
mayor of Gelson's.
Yeah. God, I was
like
the mayor.
Foursquare?
I think this was a time in my life when I was the mayor of a lot of bars. But that was always one where I'm like 50-50. This person has never heard of a Yelp check-in and will be mad at me or confused if I bring it to them. But I wanted it. I wanted
you
it.
have to get the person there to like endorse you for.
Yeah, it was like you show it to them on your phone, and then half the time they've never heard of it. Half the time the manager's never heard of it. It was always such a pain in the ass. And then I just stopped doing it. I think they still might have them, but
Yeah, they do.
Do you ever go in for them? Do you ever try and get them?
Yeah, I use it. I use it for a smog check whenever that's.
Hey,
yeah.
That's living.
That's right.
How much of a discount do you
So
get?
every 3 years.
It's been too long. Like 10%. It's nothing crazy.
Nothing like a
But
good smog
still.
check, you know?
Yeah.
Love
Just
that.
tapping a button.
Yeah, exactly. If I can save a few bucks, why not?
I've never even done it. I didn't even know about it.
Yeah.
Wow.
They can
Now I
be
know.
Socially uncomfortable. So just prepare yourself. If you
Yeah.
ever start doing them. It
I'll
might
get a
lead
good
to
night of
some-
sleep
The good
before
thing
I
with
do
the
it.
smog check is like it's usually like you're not that busy. You're not gonna like be holding up a line
Yeah,
or anything.
yeah.
So that one's nice and easy.
You were already checking smog anyway. I mean,
I feel like we need to hear the drop for Rob directed at the people who don't know how commerce works.
Hey, go fuck yourself.
Well, guys. Jordan, do you have one? I don't want to make you. If you
No,
don't.
I think everyone's great. I don't think
Okay.
anyone needs to fuck themselves.
Wow.
sweet.
Listen, everyone, this has been delightful. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for coming over. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being part of the show. Follow me on social media at Allison Rosen everywhere, except for TikTok. I'm at the Allison Rosen. And I already mentioned all that stuff, specifically the merch. Rob, where might we find you?
you'll find me at robkutner.com. I still am on X at Apocalypse How, and I'm on the Threads and on the Blue Sky under my name, and that's about as much as I can handle of all that stuff.
Great. And Jordan?
Yes, I have a podcast. It's called Jordan Jesse Go, and I have another graphic novel related announcement.
Very exciting.
I know we're all going to be grabbing our copy of.
Wow, that was
I have a thing on
was
my.
that Galaga? What is it?
I'll try and look at this over here. Hey, I don't know if y'all heard, but there's there's a labor happening in Tinseltown.
There sure is.
Folks on strike for SAG, folks on strike for the WGA.
For hotels.
If hotels, geez, I know. Well, if you want to support the ECF, the Entertainment Community Fund, that's a fund that helps folks impacted by that sort of thing. There is a cool event via the folks at Orphan Books. They're like selling some signed copies of books. You can get them via the mail. You can get them in LA at an event. I am signing copies of my graphic novel Bubble, 2 Eisner nominations, not a big deal. They're signed and personalized, so if you want me to write I got my bumper dinged at the Squat and Gobble. Any Allison Rosen, Jordan Jesse Go, Good Mythical Morning meme, I will write it in there. You can get those at orphanbooksinc.com/shop. Some other folks participating in this: Max Greenfield, Amber Benson, and Dana Schwartz. So if you want any books from those folks or me, you can get them shipped to your house for a good cause, signed. And I don't know if those folks are personalizing. I'm personalizing. So I will write whatever fucking dumb shit you want to in your book. orphanbooksinc.com/shop. And everybody I mentioned, we're going to be doing an event at Dynasty Typewriter here in LA. That is on August 26th, 4 p.m. It's called An Afternoon with Authors. And we'll be selling and signing books there too. So if any of that sounds good to you, it's a fun and cool way to support the Entertainment Community Fund.
Wonderful. And Daniel?
Oh, yeah. You can follow me at, the places, Daniel Quartz, whatever.
Great. And Tony?
I'm on the places at
Tony Thaxton.
And I'll be playing drums in Los Angeles with Jonah Ray and Don't Stop or We'll Die August 25th at the Lodge Room. And then Motion City Soundtrack's going to be out on the West Coast for a few weeks. I think it's mostly West Coast with All American Rejects, Get Up Kids, Newfound Glory. Tickets are available for those now. So,
Oh my God. Wait, are you guys going to do an LA show?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should finally go.
Maybe.
Sounds fun.
Do
We
you
should
know
all
the
go to
date
that.
is?
Yeah, where is it?
I could probably look it up.
Unfortunately, it is at the YouTube Theater, which is out by the Forum.
I didn't know
So
there
that's the
was a
bad
YouTube
part. Yeah, I
theater.
think I've never.
Are you going to wear
I've never
blue
been.
to signal
say
to
that-
your fans that something's happening?
You didn't say that because it's the YouTube theater. You said that because we had trouble getting to the forum.
Yes, that's why that was specifically for you. But in general, I mean, I wish it was somewhere a little.
Now, is
closer.
that in SoFi? Do they have? Is it like a theater that's in that complex?
I think I don't know for sure.
Interesting.
It's somewhere in that area. Is all
And
I
I
know.
can sit on your drum set, right?
Exactly on the cymbal stand. Remember? Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. You guys, thank you so much. Listeners, thank you for listening. I love you. You matter. Goodbye.
Hey, do you know about the Allison Rosen show?